Hello viewers, welcome to Everything But What. Today we are going to see a very special case. This case is a case that has made Tamil Nadu a very different place in 1952. The forensic department has stored a lot of cases in this case. This case is also a part of the forensic medical science syllabus. In order to let the public know about this case, a series of 13 episodes were telecasted in the 1990s. In the same 1990s, this case was published daily. In 1952, a new daily newspaper was started. The newspaper that was started covered this case and became a true newspaper. Imagine how big this case is. We are going to see that case in today's video. This case will be very thrilling. Watch the video without skipping. Before watching the video, subscribe to our channel. Follow us on WhatsApp and Facebook. This is August 28, 1952. On this day, a train from Egmar to Danishkodi is ready. The name of the train is Boat Mail. There is a reason why this train is named Boat Mail. In those days, the only train that connected Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka was this train. That is why it does not go from Tamil Nadu to Sri Lanka. It stops at Danishkodi. Once this train stops at Danishkodi, all the passengers who go to Sri Lanka get off. They go to Sri Lanka only when the boat leaves from there. That is why this train was named Boat Mail. This Boat Mail train is the one that goes from Danishkodi to Egmar in August 28, 1952. The train is slowly approaching Manamadurai. When it approaches Manamadurai, there is a third-class compartment in the train. A different smell starts to hit the compartment. All the people in the compartment were taking it normally. But as time passed, the smell started to increase. Not only that, when there is a different smell, it seems like it is coming from a box under the seat. Because of this different smell, there is a hustle and bustle in the compartment. When there is a hustle and bustle, the train reaches Manamadurai. Once it reaches Manamadurai, some people from the compartment go to the railway station. They go to the station master and complain that there is a bad smell in the compartment. The station master looks at the compartment and notices that there is a box under the seat. The station master asks the people who brought the box to come in front of the box. But no one in the compartment comes in front of the box. The station master pulls the box out of the compartment. But when he pulls the box, the smell of the box increases. Not only that, there is water in the compartment. There is also blood in that. The station master is very nervous. He calls the police immediately. The next few minutes, the police come to the compartment. The police guess the box. The box is not an ordinary iron box. There is something inside the box. But they didn't know what it is. They didn't open it, but before that they called the municipal commissioner. After he came, the police opened the box. After seeing that, all of them were shocked. They have cut a man and kept it. Not only that, there is no cloth on the body. It is completely intact. The body's head is missing in that box. That is, the headless body is in that box as if it has been cut off completely. So, as soon as I saw this, everyone there was shocked to another level. They said that no one has done such a big thing. Immediately, they took the body and gave it to the Madurai GH. They asked them to do an autopsy and post-mortem immediately. But when they asked them to do a post-mortem, there was a radiologist there. So, he is saying some things based on seeing the body. What he says is, when we look at the height of this body, it is about 5 feet long. So, when we look at it, his age will be less. His maximum age should be only 25 years old. Not only that, they have also circumcised his male child. So, when we look at it, he may be a Muslim. He is saying two things. So, as soon as I noted these two things, the police took those details. They are informing to collect the details of who has been missing in Tamil Nadu. As soon as we informed, the police started to distribute the information to all the police stations. So, from that day, all the police stations in Tamil Nadu started to collect the missing case files. But because they are collecting, they cannot collect everything in the next minute. Because it is 1952, it takes time to pass this information. So, the time is ticking and the next day came. On that day, we went from Manamadurai to Chennai. A woman in Chennai went to the police station in a hurry to find her husband. Not only that, she went to the police station and filed a missing case saying that her husband's name is Alavandar. When they asked the total details of Alavandar, my husband was working as an army man in the army camp in Avadai. After retiring from the army, he was working in a pen shop in Paris Corner. He was working there, but he suddenly disappeared. So, they filed a complaint at the police station asking us to find him. After filing the complaint, the police started to search for Alavandar in Chennai. At that time, the information sent from Manamadurai reached the police station in Chennai. The body of a 25-year-old man is in Manamadurai. So, if there is a missing case in your police station, please inform us immediately. Recently, a woman went to the police station to find her husband. They asked for the details of the missing Alavandar. When they checked, it was mentioned that the missing Alavandar is 42 years old. But the body found in Manamadurai is 25 years old. The police decided that this is a different case. So, they decided to remove the missing case. So, they started to search for Alavandar again in Chennai. In the next few days, a brown shirt was found in the area where Chennai's Roy Apuram is located. The shirt was not an ordinary shirt. It looked like it was wrapped with something. When the police saw it, they informed the police. The police also went to the place and checked the shirt. When they checked, the shirt looked like it was wrapped with a round shape. When they opened the shirt, they found that the shirt was torn. Because the shirt had a head, the police sent the head to the Chennai GH post-mortem. At that time, there was a forensic doctor named Gopalakrishnan in Chennai GH. Gopalakrishnan is a very experienced doctor. He has done post-mortem on more than 8,000 bodies. So, the police believed that if he did a post-mortem on a body, it would be clear-cut. So, the police is waiting for his results. He also did a complete post-mortem on the body. He said that the man with the head might be 42 years old. He also said that the man's height might be 5 feet. When the police saw these two things, they were shocked. Recently, a woman complained that her husband was missing. She said that her husband's age is 42 years old and he is 5 feet tall. The information and the post-mortem report match. So, the police called the woman and asked her to come to the hospital. She also came to the hospital. They showed her the head and told her that it was her husband's head. She also looked at the head. But she couldn't see the head clearly. Because the head was hit from the sea water. She didn't know how long it was in the sea water. So, the face on the head was swollen. It was in a state of decomposition. So, when she looked at the head, she couldn't see it clearly. She said that it didn't look like her husband's head. She left the place. After she left, a detailed post-mortem report came. The police were shocked by some of the things mentioned in the report. Before they were shocked, the woman said that it was her husband's head. But the police doubted that it might be Alavandar. So, they started collecting details about Alavandar. According to the complaint, Alavandar worked in the army camp in Avadai. So, there might be his details there. So, they asked the police to collect the details. The police went there to collect the details. At the same time, a post-mortem report came. In that report, he was cut with a sharp knife. He was not alive at that time. He was cut alone after he died. He was cut flat. There is proof for that. At the same time, a post-mortem report came. The police collected details about Alavandar. The doctor said that there were two things in the report. The details mentioned in the report were that Alavandar had a small scar on his ear. The police went to the hospital to check the scar. The police found a scar on his ear. The doctor called the woman again. She checked the head again. She realized that it was her husband. She noticed that the head was cut with a sharp knife. If there was a scar on his body, the body must have been cut with a sharp knife. She called the doctor again. She checked the body again. The body was cut with the same knife. The body was cut with the same knife. The body was cut with the same knife. After knowing that Jinnah police confirmed that it's the head of the body, even though they confirmed it with this report. How was the GH report? The age of the body is 25 and he is Muslim, right? Then how can it be Alavandar? And this created frustration to police. One side a body is there and the head is not there, and the other side head is there and the body is there. Police didn't know what to do. A doctor gave a autopsy report for the first time, right? They went to the radiologist and asked if the autopsy report is right or wrong, and he told one thing clearly: I am not a forensic doctor. I am a radiologist. I never told you that I am a forensic doctor. I just told you that I saw it with my own eyes and it looks something like this. I can't say it very surely, and if you want it very clearly you have to go to forensic doctor and give the body. They didn't know what to say and they decided to take the body to Jinnah GH to Gopala Krishnan, and they took the body from Madurai to Jinnah. So after that the doctor did the autopsy. He did the autopsy and stuck the head with the body and saw it and found that it's the body's head. He also found another thing and he told that to the police. As I told that they cut the body after death, they have cut it before he is dead and they gave him drug. Doctor said they killed him and they cut the head. The body and the head are exactly the same. The police gave a report that the head and the body are the same person. The police thought that the body and the head are the same person. But now they have found out that the head and the body are the same person. But they didn't know who was the one who had vengeance like this and killed. Once they found it's Alavandar, they started to investigate who has done it. So they wanted to know the details about Alavandar, so they started to investigate, and then they came to know about few other things. If they want to know about him, they have to ask the people who have been with him, right? So men told good about him. He is a good and fit guy, and since he was in the army he has been very energetic and enthusiasm. All told that they never saw him being lazy. When they went to women and asked, they told that he is very bad. He will never see any girl with good intention, he'll see always in bad intention, and this made police confused. And then they wanted to know more about him. They went to his close friend AD and asked. He used to work in a pen shop. The owner of the pen shop was the one who asked the police about him. He used to work in an army camp in Avidai. After the World War they released him from the camp and he didn't have any work, and it's not good to be at home, right? And he came to my pen shop and joined, and his interest was not only in this. He works here for half an hour and he goes to shop and buy saris and sell it to women, and I didn't like it, so I called him and asked, why is he doing these things? Don't you have money? I'm paying you enough, right? Then why are you doing this more than being in the pen shop? I like to go to the women's and sell the sari and talk to them, and that's why I'm doing it. And he told the police that he warned him and sent. He said that the police are confirming one thing, that Alavantar is a very weak person in terms of women. So, as soon as he confirms this, the police are guessing that he has some problem with women. So, they are taking all the details of women that are not close to him. They are taking it and going to the other side. Finally, before he goes missing, they start gathering the details of where Alavantar went. When they gather, they ask Alavantar's wife. When he went missing, I didn't know where he went, so I asked his friend. When I asked him, he told me that he went to his friend's house in Rayapuram last night and then went home. After he said that, I went to his friend's house in Rayapuram. When I knocked on the door of that house, a woman opened the door. When I saw the woman opening the door, I got a shock. I thought that her husband would have come to his friend's house, but he came to a girl's house. I got a shock thinking that he was doing something wrong. When I opened the door, I screamed that I was outside. I thought that my husband's voice would come out. But a different man's voice came out. That man was the husband of that woman. I got a shock when I found out that he was her husband. I asked her if her husband came to Alavantar's house. I asked her softly, but when I asked her, a man's voice came out. I asked her why her husband came to my house. She said that she didn't know who her husband was. She said that if her husband went missing, she would go to the police station and complain. She said that she would go to the police station and complain. She closed the door immediately. I got a shock. If I go to someone else's house and ask if my husband came to my house, they would get angry. So I left the house and came to Alavantar's house. I complained to the police station. Alavantar's wife told all these. When I told this to Alavantar's wife, she asked me what the name of the woman in the house was. I didn't know the name of the woman in the house. She said that they should ask his friend. Police went to the pen shop and asked. He said that the woman's name was Devaki Menon. And suddenly its strict police checked the name of the woman in the list of women in the house. I checked the name of the woman in the list of women in the house. There was a name called Devaki Menon. The police guessed that Alavantar went to Devaki Menon's house. The next minute, they went to Devaki Menon's house. There was a big lock in front of the house. The police started to suspect. They went to all the houses and started to collect the details. They found out that the name of the wife was Devaki Menon and the name of the husband was Prabhakaran Menon. They also found out that the wife was from Kerala and came to Chennai to work. They also found out the two main leads of this case. There was a cycle shop near Devaki Menon's house. They showed Alavantar's pic and asked him if he had recently come to this house. He looked at the pic and said that he had recently come to this house. A rickshaw came and said that an actor's pic had been stuck. The police confirmed that he had come to Devaki Menon's house. They went to the rickshaw stand and searched for the movie actor. And they found the rickshaw also asked, showing Alavantar's picture. They asked him if he had recently come to this house. He said that he dropped him in the Royapuram. The police confirmed that Alavantar had gone missing after he had gone to Devaki Menon's house. They searched for both in Chennai, but they couldn't find them. They found out that they were the ones who killed Alavantar, but they couldn't catch them. The police were frustrated. This case was discussed a lot in Tamil Nadu in 1952. The newspapers in Tamil Nadu were writing articles about this case. A new newspaper was started at that time. The newspaper which was started at that time covered this case. The newspaper was so big that it was covered by the newspaper. The newspaper was so big that it was covered by the newspaper. The police were not able to catch the culprits. The police were not able to catch the culprits. The police were under a lot of pressure at that time. The police were under a lot of pressure at that time. The police were searching for the Keralites, but they couldn't find them. The police didn't know what to do if they are not in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. The police were clueless, and one thing struck their mind: where did they keep the iron box? They found the bodies in the Boatman railway station. On that day, Alavantar's wife went to Devaki Menon's house and knocked, and after that only her husband was harsh to her and they went out of the house. So, if the police's guess was correct, they placed the box in which the boat mail train was standing in Egmar at the same time. They guessed that another train was standing in the same Egmar and went somewhere else. So, as soon as they guessed, they went to Egmar railway station on August 28, 1952. They asked what other train left the Egmar railway station on that day. Only one train left the Egmar and went to Bombay. So, the police got a shock when they heard that. They said that they would have gone to Bombay. So, they sent the photos to the Bombay police. They said that they are the most notorious criminals in Tamil Nadu. If you get the details about them, please inform us. The Bombay police also sent the photos to all the police stations in Bombay. So, all the police stations in Bombay had the photos of these two people because This case was not only discussed in Tamil Nadu, it was discussed in all over India, so the Bombay police started to investigate the people who seemed suspicious at that time. The Bombay police was searching for the suspect. A man was roaming around the beach. The police asked him where he was roaming and he said that he was speaking in Hindi, but he said that he was speaking in Tattaka instead of speaking in Hindi, so the police thought that he was the suspect, so they took him to the police station. After that, they informed the Tamil Nadu police. The Tamil Nadu police also went to the police station. When they went there, they couldn't identify Prabharan Menon because he had changed his look completely. Before this, he had a beard and a lot of hair, but when he was roaming around Bombay, he had shaved his beard completely. He had a short hair and he was looking very stylish. That's why, when they took a photo of him, they couldn't identify him, but the Tamil Nadu police guessed that he was the suspect. They asked him where his wife was and they brought him there. Now, they brought Devangi Menon and Prabhakaran Menon to Tamil Nadu and started the investigation. When they started the investigation, they said that they didn't know anything about this, but when they brought the two witnesses, cycle shop man and the rickshaw man, they couldn't lie to them, so they started to confess to Devangi Menon. I came to Chennai for my job after my college studies. I like social service very much, so I used to do social service in the villages. I needed a sari to do social service, so when I was looking for a sari, I met a person. He was very kind and caring, so when he talks, any girl will fall in love with him. I am not one of them because of his kind words. Our friendship started to develop, so I decided to marry him. At that time, he started to get close to me and started to do some things. I didn't take it seriously and I adjusted it, but when I adjusted it, I came to know some things. I was in love with him, but he didn't love me. Yes, I came to know about him when I collected his details. He got married when he started to get close to me. He had 2 kids. Not only that, I came to know that he is getting close to many girls. He doesn't take the amount for the sari immediately. He gives the amount as installment. He gives the amount as installment. If they gives the amount as installment, there is no problem if they pays the installment. If they doesn't pay the installment, he will bring the girls into his debt. He will sit down and say, you don't have to pay the installment immediately, you can pay it later, but you have to adjust it until you pay the installment. He will use the girls for him. He will use the girls who are above 400 in his list. He will register the fake IDs in some hotels in Broadway. He will bring the girls when he needs them. He will do some extreme things. I came to know about him when I collected his details. I thought that my life would not be good, so I avoided Alavandar. I thought that he will leave me after the marriage, but I didn't think that he will leave me. He tortured me after the marriage. He asked me to come to hotels. It made me very sad. I hid it from my husband. I couldn't bear it. I told him everything that happened. I was in an affair with him. I told him that I will be loyal to him after the marriage. I will avoid him, but he won't leave me. He tortured me. I didn't know what to do. I told him that he has to do something. I told this to Prabharan Menon. I got angry. I told this to Prabharan Menon, but Alavantan's character is very bad. He was very angry on him, so he decided not to leave him like that. He told her that he will kill him even though she is scared, but still his character is very bad, right? She agreed to Prabharan's decision. Prabharan went to Kerala and got a knife. He called Devagi. He told her that he will stay alone. He told her that he will come to his house. Devagi went to the shop and told Alavantan. Alavantan was very happy. He was waiting for the night. He got a rickshaw and went to Devagi's house. He knocked the door and went inside. He took a drug which he took with him every time. WHWN he goes with women. He entered the house. Prabhakaran Menon killed Alavantan. He cut his head and sent him to the sea. He cut his body and sent it to the train. They went to Bombay. Devagi Menon confessed everything. They were arrested. The lawyer who came to Devagi Menon's rescue, they did this for self-defense. He asked them to give less punishment. The government lawyer asked them to give a good punishment. They sent 2 parts differently. The people of Tamil Nadu were waiting for this. He asked the judge. The judge's name was Panchapaksa Iyer. He pushed the case forward. He asked the case in detail. He asked how bad Alavantan was. He asked how bad he had treated women. He fixed one thing in his mind. The day of judgment was coming. March 1953. Tamil Nadu was waiting for this, the day of judgment. Many people were standing in front of the court. The police were not enough to control the people. The police were not enough to control the people. The people were waiting for a good judgment. Panchapaksa Iyer was sitting in his seat. The government lawyer stood up and said, you have to give good punishment. They have done a very bad murder. And he shut his mouth and told that he is not so good. He told that he is not fit for living. So he asked him to sit, and everyone guessed that he will not give huge punishment. So as they Guess the judge told that I'm not telling what they did was right, but they also have done a good thing, so when I think from Devagi Menon's side it's right, he was not a good person, so I'm giving 3 years statement for Devagi Menon and he gave 7 years statement for Prabhakaran. If you ask if Devagi Menon and Prabhakaran spent 3,7 years over there, since they were good, they were released soon and they went to Kerala and took care of a shop and they kept a hotel and spent their rest of their life. When they went to their house in the puja self, they had many god photos and in the middle they kept the judge's pic and prayed like a god. They say that their life wouldn't have been good without him. Okay guys, today's video is over. See you in the next video. Bye.